Hello, children. Today we shall be doing the fourth lesson from Flamingo, The Rat Trap by Selma Lagerlof. The Rat Trap, children, is a story that is entertaining as well as philosophical. Through the metaphor of rat trap, the author highlights the human predicament of falling into the trap of temptations. The story is a very good analysis of the emotional needs of human beings that govern their behavior. There is also a subtle humor all through the story that serves in lightening the seriousness of the tone. Children, the story Rat Trap deals with the trap of material benefits that most human beings are prone to fall into. It also dwells on the human tendency to redeem oneself from dishonest ways. Focusing on human loneliness and the need to bond with others, it brings out the tendency to look down upon the have nots of the society and deprive them of an opportunity to make their lives worth living. However, here and there are stray good souls that do help them come out of the depths of their wretchedness and encourage them to live a dignified life. Now, children, coming to the story. This story, children, is about a poor wanderer who used to make his living by selling rat traps that were made out of begged material, that is, steel wires, waste material. He also took to petty stealing at times, as selling rat traps alone was not enough to sustain him. Whenever he was lonely, a somber thought often crossed the rat trap seller's mind. He felt that all the comforts of life were nothing but baits that were set to trap human beings. Thus, he found the world to be similar to a rat trap where men and women succumbed to temptation. One day, as he moved door to door selling the rat traps, he reached a small grey cottage and sought shelter from the owner who lived alone. This man had been a crofter at Ramsjo Ironworks. He was extremely kind to the peddler. He not only fed him with porridge, but the two also smoked together and they played cards. Now, who is a crofter, children? A crofter, children, is a person in Scotland who rents or owns small land used for farming, that is adjoining his own house. The crofter was so pleased to have a guest that he disclosed his source of income to the stranger. He showed him the 30 kroner which he had got after selling his cow's milk to the creamery and had kept in a pouch hung on a nail near the window frame. The next morning, the rat trap seller took leave of the host but returned half an hour later, smashed the window pane, and stole the money that the crofter had shown the previous evening. He took to the road into the woods to avoid getting caught. He walked quite long and got confused by the maze of forest paths. That is, he could not find his way in the forest, which way to go. It was so confusing. Dead tired and hungry, he realized that he had fallen into a trap. Suddenly, he heard the regular thumping of the hammer and realized that he was near some iron mill. He gathered strength and walked on in the direction of the sound and finally reached the rat trap and finally reached the Ramsau ironworks. He sneaked into the mill and entered the forge. He sought permission from the master blacksmith to stay there for the night. The man agreed, but rather coldly. Still, the peddler went close to the furnace to warm himself and he lied down to sleep over there only. The owner children of this mill, he was a prominent ironmaster whose ambition was to ship not good iron. Hence, he would visit the workers regularly to inspect their work. He came to the mill that night also. The rat trap seller's presence caught his attention and he moved closer only to mistake him for his old regimental comrade, Captain Nils Olof. Overwhelmed, he was so happy to meet his old acquaintance and saddened by his pitiable condition that the mill owner insisted the rat trap seller to accompany him to his manor house. The peddler did not reveal his true identity, but he refused to go with the ironmaster because he was not actually his friend. After after failing to convince the peddler to be his Christmas guest, the ironmaster left the mill. But within half an hour, his daughter, Edla Wilmanson, arrived and invited the peddler once again. And she assured him that he could leave any time after Christmas. She insisted that he should be their guest. With this, the peddler changed his mind and accompanied the young girl to their manor house. On the way, he felt as if he had fallen into the trap once again, from which he would never be released. On reaching the manor house, he was accorded a warm welcome. He was given a shave, a refreshing bath, change of clothes. After this transformation, he was presented before the ironmaster, who then realized that he had mistaken this man for his old comrade. Upset by the peddler's pretense, the ironmaster he threatened to hand him over to the sheriff, the police. However, the peddler he insisted that he had never claimed to be the comrade and that he was thought to be. He never claimed that he was the ironmaster's friend, so it wasn't his fault. On the contrary, it was the ironmaster who had refused to listen to him at all. So, at this point, Edla intervened and said that in spite of all the misunderstanding, she wanted the man to stay with them for Christmas. Her father gave in to her wish, and this unknown guest was given a hospitable stay. He was invited to the feast and other celebrations over the evening. He slept like a log in between the festivities. The Christmas Eve passed very peacefully, and Edla and her father left for the church in the morning, leaving behind their sleeping guest. On reaching the church, they heard about the theft at the crofters and realized that the thief's description it fitted absolutely to their guest, that is the peddler. Worried and upset, they returned home thinking that their precious silverware also must have been stolen by now. However, when they reached the manor, They were informed by the valet that the guest had left without taking anything with him. Rather, he had also left behind a parcel for Edla. She curiously opened the ill-packed gift to find a rat trap and three 10 kroner notes wrapped in it. There was also a note that accompanied this gift with the request for Edla to return the money to the owner, that is the crofter. The peddler had expressed gratitude to the girl for treating him like a true captain. The humane treatment by the girl, by the gentlewoman, had aroused the conscience of this tramp, and he had made an effort to rise from the befallen state by returning the stolen money. So, children, the humane treatment that was meted out to the peddler by Edla brought about the change in his life. It was her compassion that touched him so deeply and revived his conscience once again. He finally changed his ways by leaving behind the stolen money with the note requesting it to be returned to the crofter. I hope, children, all of you have understood the lesson well. Now, go through the text file that has also been attached with your lesson. God bless you.